All right, we are going to make some half sour pickles in the refrigerator. And this summer I'm really concentrating on refrigerator pickles because we're not having a garden this year, and honestly it's super hot. My house is really hot, it's miserably hot, and I don't feel like canning this year. So I'm taking a break and I'm gonna do things nice and easy, and I'm gonna be making the refrigerator pickles. In another video, we made this big batch pickling spice. This is a traditional pickling spice. I'll leave a link in an iCard on the screen and also down below in the information box where you can go watch that video and get a link to my website where you can find the recipe. But one of the inspirations for these pickles is we went to the local Piggly Wiggly and they had local Kirby cucumbers, and you know what? I am so happy to support the local farmers, and these cucumbers were beautiful and delicious, and they're just the perfect size. So what I did was I cut some up in spears, I cut some up in thick slices, I got a couple of quart jars washed, and in another video I mentioned that I sterilized them in the microwave, and this is not a traditional way to sterilize your jars. So if you're gonna do traditional canning methods, this is not a traditional canning recipe. You cannot water bath this recipe. You will need to seek out a safety tested water bath pickle recipe on your own. This is a refrigerator pickle recipe and the two do not mix. So when I sterilize my jars for this process, I just wash them with hot soapy water, rinse them, put them on a plate in the microwave, 2 minutes on high. They get really hot and that's good enough for me, because we're not worrying about putting these in a water bath to pull a seal and put these on the shelf. We're gonna keep these in the fridge and we're gonna eat them fairly quickly. But these will keep for at least 6 months in your fridge if you don't eat them that quick. I mean, we love pickles and we eat them pretty quick here. So in any case, we're gonna fill up these 2 jars, one with spears and one with slices. We're going to use some of our big batch pickling spice. I have right here 3 cups of white vinegar and 3 cups of filtered water. I have a half a cup of granulated sugar and a 1/4 cup of kosher salt. These pickles are not sweet. The sugar is part of the brine and pickling process, so they aren't sweet, but they're very delicious. My dad loves these pickles and he looks forward to them every year. First we need to make our brine, so we're going to put our water and our vinegar in a saucepan along with our sugar and our salt. We're going to bring this to a boil and wait for everything to dissolve, and then while that's happening we'll go ahead and we'll stuff our jars. We're going to prepare to stuff our jars, but before we start I want to get our big batch pickling spice, and I'm going to put 2 tablespoons in each jar. Make sure you mix this up really well because you want a little bit of everything in here. Beautiful. Now I'm just gonna stuff these and I'm gonna lay the spears in the best I can. I'm gonna kind of alternate them just so they fit better. And because we're not heating these up, there may be a little bit of float, but you want to make sure you pack these in the best you can so that there isn't an opportunity for these to float. And you don't want it packed so tight that the pickling spice doesn't have the opportunity to distribute. And then you want to make sure that you wash your hands before you start this process, because whatever's on your hands is going to end up in the jar, and even though that we're not canning these, you still want to be sanitary about it. And then what we can do is we can grab a knife so that we can fill up the space here in the top, and there won't be an opportunity for a wasted space. So you can just put some chunks in here. Nobody is going to care. They all are going to taste the same. And if you like salad chunks, you should cut your pickles up the way you like them best. If you like them sliced in spears, you can also do these with whole cucumbers, and you just want to make sure that you have a big enough jar, because you would maybe fit 4 cucumbers in a quart jar like that. And then I'm going to go in with my slices. I may use another jar. One of the jars that I used for the water or the vinegar, I may use one of those depending on what I have left here. Okay, do you see that? Get rid of it. It's a little soft spot that revealed itself. There's another one. You also want to make sure that you check your cucumbers really well as you're preparing them. Even though we're not canning them, and I'm going to say that a lot here, even though we're not canning these, you still want to make sure that your vegetables are nice and fresh. And sometimes you're going to get a soft spot. You can pretty well cut those out. It's not a problem. I'm prepping another jar here. And these were also sterilized before I started, so no worries there. I wash everything before I start. And now I'm just going to cut the rest of these up, like I'm going to cut them in half and just kind of fill up the jar in little chunks. And give your jar a shake every now and then just to help it settle. And I think I'm going to get all of these in this jar, and that will be awesome. Now we're just going to wait for our brine to come to a boil, and we'll be back and we'll top these off with our brine and get them ready to go in the fridge. All right, our brine mixture came to a boil, and now we're just going to top off our jars, making sure that to the best of our ability these are filled and all of the cucumbers are covered. I always try and make a little more brine than I think I'm going to need, and it looks like this time I made the perfect amount for 3 jars. And you can leave about a quarter of an inch of head space. We're not going to worry too much about that, since we are just doing a refrigerator pickle, right? So now what you want to do is get you a paper towel, and I'm just going to go ahead and wipe these rims, making sure that there's no like seeds or spices or anything else up in here. And I have clean lids ready to go, and some rings. But you see what this is floating, but no worries, this is gonna settle. But you definitely want to get in here and give everything a shake, because you want all of that pickling spice to distribute in there. Sometimes when you do the spears, you have to kind of turn it upside down and wiggle it, because everything needs to move around. Those spears are not going to float. It's always my experience that the slices like to float. You want to put these on your kitchen counter until they come to room temperature. And I would say after dinner I'll be able to do that. It's late afternoon now. And after dinner I'll just go ahead and put them in the outside fridge. You don't want to eat these until they're ready after 3 days. You want to give these a shake every day just to distribute everything and make sure everything is moving along in there. And after 3 days you can enjoy them. It's better to wait about a week, but after 3 days they're going to be delicious. These are going to be crisp, and they're going to be tart, and they're going to taste like a really good deli pickle. So those are half sours, and the reason we call those half sours is because they're not fully pickled with 100% vinegar. And you know, some recipes actually do use 100% vinegar. But this is a really quick way to have a really great pickle available for your family to enjoy all summer long, or even beyond that, really.
And to use up your garden produce.
And to use up your garden produce, absolutely. Or to use up the garden produce that your neighbor so graciously shares with you, or to use up the produce that you purchase to support your local farmers at the farm stand, or whatever it is. You know what? We live in a place where the bounty is so great, it doesn't really matter if you grew it yourself, because you knew where it came from. So that's the best part to me. If there is a pickle that you particularly enjoy that you think that I might be able to adapt into a refrigerator version, leave a comment down below and let me know what that is, and I'll look into it and I'll see if it's possible. I do have plans to do a bread and butter pickle for the refrigerator, along with some dilly beans, maybe some pickled beets. I really want to bulk up this refrigerator pickling playlist, because I think pickling is for everyone, not just for people who can. And I want everyone to get excited about these little simple things that we can do at home that make life really kind of worth living and kind of special. And it really shows your family how much you care about them. So that's how you make a refrigerator pickle. I hope you give these a try. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my kitchen, welcome. I'm so glad that you came to visit me today. I hope that you continue to do so, and I hope you come back often. Be sure and hit that subscribe button. And as always, if you are a tried and true member of the Noreen's Kitchen family, be sure and hit the bell notification button so you get a push notification on your smartphone or an email letting you know whenever we upload a new video that you can come watch it, because we don't want any of you to miss out on all the real food for real people, real easy recipes that we present all the time right here on our YouTube channel and straight from our kitchen. I hope that you give these half sour refrigerator pickles a try sometime soon, and I hope you love them. And until next time, I'll see ya.